The go-home episode of WWE Raw before Crown Jewel 2024 will air live from the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The company has announced 4 matches for the show so far. Aside from that, the Apex show could have several twists in store as well, which could set the tone for Crown Jewel 2024 and the rest of the year. So, how would things transpire on the Red Show before Crown Jewel? To feed into the curiosities, here are 3 bold predictions for WWE Raw before Crown Jewel 2024. 3. Triple H could replace Adam Pearce with Stephanie McMahon on WWE Raw. Things have been pretty chaotic on Raw in the last few months. The current general manager of the Red brand, Adam Pearce's life has been made difficult by a number of superstars. The veteran has seemingly lost his grip on the roster. Given that, the company's CCO, Triple H, could replace Pearce with a more powerful authority figure, Stephanie McMahon. The veteran resigned from her duties back in 2023. However, her husband, HHA, could persuade her to return as GM of the Red brand this week. 2. Bronson Reed could attack Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has been involved in a volatile feud with Bronson Reed on WWE Raw. The Visionary will lock horns with the Monster at Crown Jewel 2024. However, the Tsunami Master could send a stern message to Rollins mere days before their clash at the Saudi Spectacle. Reed could blindside Rollins, launching a brutal attack on the Architect. This potential angle could be a perfect way to hype the duo's clash for November 2. 1. Dirty Dom could face Rhea Ripley in a mixed-gender match. Dominic Mysterio is set to take on a former world champion on WWE Raw this week. However, the world champion in question could be none other than Rhea Ripley. There have been murmurs of the company planning a mixed-gender match between Dom and Ripley, and the highly awaited bout could happen on Monday night. Ripley could be revealed as Dom's opponent, much to the shock of the look-at-her. However, in order to escape punishment at the hands of his former mammy, Dom could extend a reunion offer to Ripley. However, the Eradicator could refuse Domino's offer, laying down a brutal beating on him. In the ever-dramatic world of WWE, a wave of anticipation swept through the locker room and the WWE universe when rumors surfaced that Adam Pearce's role as WWE Raw's general manager might be up for grabs. Pearce had been a steady force, but fans had started clamoring for change. The recent shift in WWE's landscape, especially with Triple H in charge of creative, hinted that something big could be on the horizon. Fans didn't have to wait long, as Triple H himself stepped into the ring on a recent episode of Raw to announce a massive shakeup. As Triple H made his entrance, the crowd erupted. The King of Kings had taken WWE's creative direction to new heights in recent months, and his presence in the ring meant something monumental was about to unfold. With the crowd chanting his name, Triple H wasted no time in addressing the rumors that had been swirling. There's been a lot of speculation about the leadership here on Raw. Triple H began, his voice commanding the attention of every fan in the arena. Adam Pearce has done a tremendous job, but let's be real. Sometimes, a show like this needs something different. Raw needs a fresh, powerful voice leading it. Just as Triple H hinted at change, the arena lights dimmed, and a familiar theme blared from the speakers. It was none other than Stephanie McMahon, the former chief brand officer and a WWE legend in her own right. The crowd's reaction was electric. Stephanie's return had been long awaited, and now she was about to become a major player on Raw once again. Stephanie walked down the ramp, her signature power strut showcasing her confidence and determination. The fans went wild, some chanting "Welcome back," as she made her way into the ring to stand beside her husband. With a sly smile, Stephanie took the microphone from Triple H. "Thank you, Hunter," she began, looking out at the WWE universe. "It's been a while since I've been in this ring, but let me tell you, it feels incredible to be back. WWE has always been my home, and I couldn't be happier to announce that I'm stepping into a new role here on Raw." The crowd's reaction was a mix of excitement and surprise. Was Stephanie actually taking Adam Pearce's place? It seemed so, as Triple H nodded in agreement, clearly proud to have his wife back in the WWE fold. The chemistry between them radiated through the arena. As of tonight, Stephanie declared, "I will be overseeing Raw, not just as an executive, but as a hands-on leader, dedicated to making the show the absolute best it can be." Adam Pearce, who had been watching from backstage, appeared on the big screen, visibly stunned by the announcement. Moments later, he made his way to the ring, determined to get some answers. The tension between Stephanie and Pearce was palpable as he approached, his face a mixture of confusion and disbelief. "Stephanie, Triple A, I respect both of you, but I think I deserve an explanation here," Pearce said, choosing his words carefully. "I've given everything I have to Raw. I've worked tirelessly to keep things running smoothly." Stephanie's smile turned sympathetic as she addressed Pearce directly. "Adam, I know how hard you've worked. And this isn't about disrespecting what you've done. But let's face it, Raw needs a new direction, a voice that can cut through the noise and elevate the show even further." Pearce looked frustrated but nodded, clearly recognizing that he was facing a force he couldn't challenge. "So, what happens to me?" he asked, his voice tinged with resignation. Triple H placed a hand on Pearce's shoulder. "Adam, you've done great work, and we want to keep you here in WWE. But we believe there's a role that fits your skills even better, somewhere where you can make an even bigger impact. Let's talk about your future backstage." The crowd cheered as Pearce took a step back, accepting his fate gracefully. Stephanie extended her hand, and after a moment's hesitation, Pearce shook it, signaling the end of his tenure as Raw's general manager. With that, Pearce exited the ring, leaving Stephanie in full control. Stephanie turned to the crowd with renewed enthusiasm. "Now let's get one thing straight," she announced, her voice carrying a newfound intensity. "I'm here to bring order to Raw, but I'm also here to make sure this show becomes the most exciting, must-see experience for every single fan out there." In the following weeks, Stephanie's impact was felt immediately. Backstage, she made it known that she wouldn't tolerate any half-hearted performances or petty feuds. She started reorganizing the divisions, ensuring that each title would have worthy contenders. Rumor had it that she was even planning to bring back some WWE legends to add gravitas to Raw's storytelling. Stephanie's first major act was to address a brewing rivalry between two fan favorites, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Their feud had been escalating, but with Stephanie at the helm, she saw an opportunity to take it to another level. She called both men into her office and laid out her vision. "Gentlemen," she began, her gaze sharp, "you two are some of the most talented athletes in WWE. I want you to settle this in a way that not only entertains the fans, but also sets Raw apart from everything else in the wrestling world." Rollins and Balor exchanged a look, intrigued by what Stephanie had in mind. "We're going to give you a headlining match at the next pay-per-view," she continued, "but this won't be just any match. I'm introducing a stipulation that'll push you both to your limits. A no disqualification, Iron Man match. 30 minutes, no rules, and may the best man win." The WWE Universe erupted when the match was announced. Stephanie's decision to book a high-stakes match as one of her first moves showed that she was unafraid to take risks. She wanted to elevate Raw, to make every main event unforgettable, and her instincts were on full display. Behind the scenes, her leadership style was already making waves. She brought a sense of structure, discipline, and ambition that many wrestlers found refreshing. Talents who had felt sidelined began to get opportunities, and Stephanie made sure that every storyline had depth. She even began recruiting talent from NXT, believing that fresh faces would keep the product dynamic and unpredictable. On the night of the pay-per-view, the Rollins-Balor match lived up to every bit of hype. It was brutal, thrilling, and exactly the kind of spectacle Stephanie wanted for Raw. When the dust settled, the WWE Universe knew they were in for a new era with her as the head of the Red brand. Backstage, Stephanie took a moment to reflect with Triple H by her side. "You did it," he said, pride evident in his eyes. "Raw hasn't felt this alive in a long time." She smiled, brushing a stray strand of hair back. "This is only the beginning, Hunter. I want Raw to be legendary, to be the show that fans can't wait to watch every week." As the weeks went on, Stephanie's vision for Raw continued to take shape. Her influence transformed the show, making it a powerhouse of talent, innovation, and excitement. Fans couldn't deny that she had breathed new life into Raw, giving it a unique flair that only someone with her expertise and passion could deliver. Under Stephanie's leadership, Raw was reborn, and the WWE Universe couldn't wait to see what she would do next. The atmosphere at WWE Raw was electric. The crowd buzzed with anticipation as rumors had swirled for days that Dirty Dominic Mysterio, known for his defiant nature and mischievous tactics, might face an unexpected opponent, none other than his Judgment Day partner, Rhea Ripley. The tension had been building for weeks. Rhea, the powerhouse of the Judgment Day, had watched Dom evolve under her mentorship. But Dom's recent antics had pushed him closer to crossing a line, even for Rhea. Despite their camaraderie, Dominic's increasingly reckless choices were bringing unwanted heat on the Judgment Day, and Rhea was fed up. That night, Dominic and Rhea found themselves in the center of the ring, surrounded by a deafening audience. Dominic had entered first, flashing his trademark smirk and soaking in the booze. The fans were relentless, chanting insults as he swaggered with cocky arrogance. But when Rhea's entrance music hit, the energy shifted. She stormed down the ramp, her gaze locked on Dom, her determination clear. The announcers couldn't hide their shock. "Is Rhea really going to go through with this?" asked Corey Graves, astonished. These two have been inseparable, but tonight, that might all change. The referee entered the ring, holding up a finger to signal that this was an unofficial match, a face-off that would either reaffirm their partnership or break it for good. Dom's smirk faltered as Rhea approached, her dark eyes filled with challenge. She stepped forward, and without a word, slapped him across the face. "Enough games, Dom," she shouted, her voice cutting through the arena's roar. "I taught you everything you know, but you're dragging us down." Dom rubbed his cheek, stunned, but quickly replaced the hurt with a smile. "You can't handle the way I'm taking Judgment Day to new heights, can you?" He spat, feigning defiance. Rhea didn't waste any more time. She lunged, locking Dom into a powerful grapple. Despite his skills, Dom was visibly outmatched. The crowd watched, enraptured, as the mentor and protégé wrestled in a blend of aggression and rivalry that felt deeply personal. Dom managed to wriggle free and threw a few quick strikes, but Rhea's response was relentless. Her strength and intensity were unmatched as she whipped him into the ropes, following up with a shoulder tackle that sent him crashing to the mat. She glared down, unmoved as Dom tried to rise, clutching his side in pain. "Come on, Dom," she growled. "This is what you wanted, right?" Dom staggered to his feet, and for a moment, his bravado cracked. But then he raised his arms, beckoning her forward in a show of defiance. Rhea smirked, impressed by his guts but unmoved. She advanced, and the two locked up once more, each giving as good as they got. Dominic knew he had to think fast. Using his speed, he slipped from her grasp and maneuvered behind her, attempting a surprise roll-up. But Rhea was ready. She powered out, quickly getting back to her feet and catching him with a spine-rattling clothesline. "That's the best you've got," she taunted, watching as he gasped for air on the mat. Rhea grabbed him by the collar, lifting him to his feet as she whispered, "I told you, I don't play games." Bischoff, or Foley, then steps in, giving a taste of what's to come by making a blockbuster match announcement for Crown Jewel, hinting that under their watch, WWE Raw will be anything but predictable. Dominic Mysterio has become one of Raw's most controversial figures, his alliance with the Judgment Day bringing him both allies and enemies. However, since branching out into singles competition, Fans have noted the tension between him and his Judgment Day stablemates. Rumors have it that Dom may be contemplating a path of independence, or perhaps even reigniting his past, with Rhea Ripley in a brand new storyline. The potential reunion angle. Rhea Ripley and Dom had undeniable chemistry as Dirty Dom evolved under her mentorship. But with Rhea juggling her role as Women's World Champion and her tumultuous relationship with the Judgment Day, WWE fans speculate a new angle could see Dom and Rhea reconnecting for a fresh storyline, potentially as a dominant pair outside the bounds of the Judgment Day. How it plays out on Raw. The night begins with the Judgment Day meeting backstage, discussing their plans for Crown Jewel. Rhea and Dom share a lingering glance that hasn't gone unnoticed by their stablemates, especially Damian Priest, who's visibly agitated. Tension simmers as Priest begins to question Dom's loyalty. As the scene escalates, a heated argument breaks out, with Priest accusing Dom of taking his eye off the ball, implying that Dom's feelings for Rhea are compromising his commitment to the Judgment Day. As the night progresses, Dom goes head-to-head in a high-stakes match against a top Raw star. Just when he appears to be on the losing end, Rhea's music hits, and she storms to the ring, rallying Dom back into the fight. The crowd senses something significant, a rekindling of their bond, perhaps. Dom wins the match thanks to Rhea's interference, and as they celebrate in the ring, the Judgment Day music hits, with Damian Priest and Finn Balor staring them down, displeased. This moment of tension hints at Dom's impending departure from the Judgment Day, and possibly the beginning of a compelling alliance with Rhea once more, adding a layer of drama before Crown Jewel. The rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins has been one for the ages, but sometimes unexpected circumstances force the most bitter enemies to set aside their differences. With rumors circulating about a powerful new faction ready to make their mark on Raw, both Rollins and Rhodes could find themselves with no choice but to join forces to protect the brand they both hold dear. The threatening new faction. Speculation points to this faction as a group of hard-hitting, underutilized talents, possibly spearheaded by an NXT call-up or even an international star. Their intent? To dominate Raw and assert their dominance in a no-holds-barred fashion. This group, still a mystery, has been wreaking havoc with attacks on top stars backstage and cryptic promos that promise destruction. How it plays out on Raw. Midway through the show, Rollins is interrupted during a promo by the faction, which ambushes him brutally. The faction's leader taunts Rollins, claiming that the past no longer matters and that they will reshape Raw. Rhodes appears, seemingly driven by nothing but a desire to get a piece of the invaders himself. He clears the ring alongside Rollins, and the crowd goes wild, sensing this might be the start of something big. However, Rollins is visibly uncomfortable about the alliance, keeping a watchful eye on Cody. Rhodes, known for his commitment to honor, seems willing to let bygones be bygones for the sake of protecting Raw from a hostile takeover. Later in the night, Rollins and Rhodes, now tentatively united, face off against two members of the faction in a tag team match. The tension between Rollins and Rhodes adds an unpredictable layer, as each man hesitates to tag the other in, wary of betrayal. But as the match heats up, they realize they must trust each other to survive. Together, they manage to pull off a victory, setting up the possibility of a larger showdown at Crown Jewel, where they could face this faction in a brutal showdown that tests their uneasy alliance to the limits. With Crown Jewel 2024 looming, WWE Raw has the potential for some groundbreaking shifts that will not only affect the show itself, but reshape the entire WWE landscape. Adam Pearce's possible replacement, the potential reunion between Dirty Dom and Rhea Ripley, and the unlikely alliance of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins against a formidable new faction could add layers of excitement and drama that captivate fans and leave them eager for more. As fans gear up for Crown Jewel, these storylines, if realized, could be the game changers Raw needs to deliver an unforgettable show. With twists, unexpected alliances, and a fresh power dynamic, WWE's flagship show could usher in a new era of unpredictability, drawing fans back to witness the fallout on the Raw after Crown Jewel.